Things would go down similar like in the original, Shadow of Fate, where Red and Fang are in the Celtic village as Spear looks at Fang in shock, and then to Red things would play out similarly as Spear attacks and fought with Red exec PT, but Fang would stop the fight of her two loved ones. She would roar to Red to stay back and let her handle these so things would not escalate any worse, which Red does. Fang is pinning Spear down with her foot like Red did in the original. Spear would try to free himself from Fang's gripe, but it was no use. Finally Spear calms down and Fang releases him then as Red walked up to the two friends as he nuzzled his wife lovingly. Then Spear would finally gets it and felt sorry for attacking her husband, and now similar to the original, but now Fang and Red, now alive in these alternate timeline, along with Spear following pursuit as the three trio leaves the Celtic village to the forest. But not before Fang looks at Spear disappointedly while Red glares at Spear how he would happily glare back. Things would play out similarly same yet differently in Dawn of Man, since Fang would not feel sad and heartbreaking since she lucky to have stopped Red and Spear from killing each other in last episode. But that doesn't mean things are going well and smoothly for Spear and Red, as Fang would still keep an eye on both her friend and husband, and she would try to get both of them to get along, which Spear and Red would try to for Fang. Guess Spear now knows what Mira and Fang feel in these situations. Back in S1E10. As the rain continues, the three trio found a cave and entered it. As Spear makes a fire while Red and Fang are either sleeping or just playing as usual. As for Spear, like in the original, he explores deeper into the cave, and as he found cave drawings. Then after that he comes back to the fire along with Red and Fang, how are now snuggled up and resting. Next Spear is out hunting and killed a deer as he returns back to the cave, but not before already finding that Fang and Red also hunt down and killed something bigger, which is a bison, so they dig in. As nighttime comes, Spear is looking at Red and Fang how are sleeping together lovingly as the caveman looks at them feeling saddened remembering his wife before in S1E1, and is now more determined than ever to find and save Mira, and so goes outside. Like in the original, Spear is praying looking for a sign but no luck. Not noticing Red is looking at him like, what is he doing, before going back to sleep with his wife, hearing Spear yelling at someone or thing as he comes back to continue resting with the two dinosaurs. Then all of a sudden Spear, Fang and Red wake only to see a Viking rider and his bear ready to fight as Red. Fang and the bear have a roar-off, then as Spear, Fang and Red make it out of the cave. They encounter not just one but two riders, and so Red and Fang make quick yet brutal work on the two bears, then Spear on the rider as second rider gets up, but seeing his partner dead by loincloth wearing man and his two dinosaurs, so he runs away and cowardly. So as the three trio follow the fleeing rider, they manage to catch up to him. Then Spear, original, would try to interrogate the Viking but doesn't go woolen. Bear rider tries to fight Spear anyways, only to get Eddie Carr in half by Red and Fang. Spear then looks down and picks up a sword, as usual, as Red along with Fang sniffs around, then picks up a scent that smells of Mira. So then as the trio continues on saving Mira and finally finds where Mira has captured a Viking slaver village. Like the original, Spear tells Red and Fang to stay put or back. Red would try to protest, but knew they too would draw too much attention, so they did. But not before Red and Fang sense danger coming towards them as the two see Spear leading Mira and the slaves to safety, as the three heard roaring coming in, so the Rex couple and the caveman are prepared to deal with these threats. So on to the red mist, and so Red and Fang get into position as Spear readies himself for what those Viking warriors coming in, and so when the time was right Spear yells in intimidation as both Red and Fang jump out of a random hut as well, joining Spear as all three of them roared in intimidation and element of surprise. But just then all of a sudden Red and Fang just falls down the now destroyed hut, now with Red falling now on top of Fang awkwardly as the two blushed in embarrassment, then silence. But then just before the lead warrior was about to kill Spear, Red and Fang, now snapped out of their loved gaze, bursts out of the destroyed hut, and the two Rexes jumps on lead warrior rider, killing him and his bear instantly. So then a huge fight ensues as the Vikings attack the three intruders. As they engaged, Red and Fang would make brutal and bloody work on the warriors. Fang and Red would saw Spear getting little overwhelmed, as random bear rider pounced on him, and so Red tells Fang he'll handle these and help, while Fang roars for him good luck, and Red does the same. So Red attacks and takes both Viking and bear out at once. As Spear gets up, looks at Red smiling. Red does the same. At this point, Red and Spear are good friends now. But that would be short-lived, as Fang is also getting overwhelmed by 5 bears and 4 Vikings. One random Viking would try to axe Fang's head, but gets stopped by both Red and Fang, ripping him in half and throwing his 2 body parts into 2 random trees, impaled. So Red, in mad rage, protects his wife, biting down on the bears while he stomped on the remaining Vikings. Red and Fang would be protected by each other side by side as 2 Tyrannosaurus kill more villagers in enraged Primal state, getting shot, cuts by Spear's arrows and axes. Just then the T-Rex couple gets tripped by rope, and Red, now more enraged, snaps the rope to shreds. Continuing, Red and Fang's preside on killing the enemies. Red and Fang were bloody, but that doesn't stop them. But just then Red spots Mira with a spear about to get pounced by the bear rider, remembering Spear, so then charges towards the rider, while Mira, a little worried that the red tyrannosaur was theirs to eat, but was quickly relieved when he attacked the bear, remembering he was Spear and Fang. Like the original, Mira would use the axe and kill the warrior, but didn't felt right, so she dropped it. Red notices this and would try to conform Mira, nuzzling her. Mira would feel a connection to Red immediately, so she petted his snout. But they knew they will bond later. As both Mira and Red look over to see Spear getting surrounded by villagers, along with Fang overwhelmed by more spears and arrows, so Red nudges Mira to stay put, so then Red rejoining the battle, helping Spear with the villagers, but not before both males get shot by arrows by Sigurd. Spear would get on Red's back, and they roar anger as more villagers charged, so Spear uses his sword along with Red's charge, easily kills most of them then, so Spear would get off of Red and continues their rampage as Red heads back to his wife, is doing pretty well good by her own, that is, until they see a woman. They both Ashamed is the leader, so the two roared, so she did. Rika throw her axe to Fang's leg, and Red, enraged, once again chomps down onto Rika right before she speared to Fang's snout, so the two repeatedly slammed Rika to the ground and chomped down on her torso, killing her. Then out of nowhere, Red and Fang would bust through a random hut once more, and Spear hops on Fang's back as the two look back at him as he growls back to get into position, so they did all three look, intimidating down on the remaining Vikings, and soon the red mist appears. Everything plays out the same when the three try to escape the village, where Red knows Mira is, until all three of them brutality get covered by many arrows, until finally Spear, Red and Fang snap into Primal kill mode, as usual, kills every last Viking in the village. Then at the end, luckily all four of them, Spear, Mira, Red and Fang, making out onto a boat, like in the original, although Red looks the worst out of Spear and Fang.